The previous class we understand the definition of person, section 2 subsection 31. Okay, 7 categories. Okay, now next definition is assessment year, section 2 subsection 9. Assessment year. Assessment year means it is a period of 12 months commencing on 1st day of April and ending on 31st March of next year. Any person who has earned the income in previous year is generally chargeable in assessment year. So in income tax law, what is the general rule? Income earned in the previous year is chargeable to tax in the assessment year. So it means any person who has earned the income in 23-24, the income earned in 23-24 will be chargeable in 24-25. So the year in which income is chargeable to tax, this particular year is called as assessment year. And for the year income is assessed and chargeable to tax, that year will be generally called as previous year. So previous year is a income producing year, and assessment year is a income on which tax is levied. Income on which tax is levied or tax is chargeable. So generally it is a period of 12 months commencing on 1st day of April and ending on 31st March of next year. So for instance, your current assessment year is 24-25, which will be from 1st April 2024 to 31st March 2025. Clear? So any assessee who has earned the income in previous year 23-24, that person's income will be chargeable to tax in 24-25. Okay, so here it is mentioned. So assessment year, period of 12 months commencing on 1st day of April and ending on 31st March of next year. Income earned in previous year is taxed in assessment year. Example, assessment year 2024-25 is a period of 12 months, which will be from 1st April 24 and ending on 31st March 25. Clear? So person section 2 subsection 31 and assessment year section 2 subsection 9 clear. Now next definition is previous year. Previous year is defined in section 3 and corresponding section is section 2 subsection 34. Okay. So previous year means it is also a period of 12 months which has already started on 1st April and ended on 31st March. Clear? For example, your relevant previous year is 2023-24. Your relevant previous year is 2023-24. This is started on 1st April 23 and it will be end on 31st March 24. Okay. Already commenced on 2023 and it will be end on 31st March 24. So any income which is earned in this year is generally chargeable to tax. So the year in which income is earned or produced by the assessee, for which income is assessed in next year or the year of assessment, that year is called as what? Previous year. So previous year is also a period of 12 months commencing on 1st day of April, ending on 31st March of next year. It's already commenced and ending on 31st March of next year. So any income which has been earned during this period is generally chargeable to tax in the assessment year. So this is a income producing year. And general rule in income tax is what? Any income which is earned in previous year is chargeable to tax in assessment year. So there is a gap of 12 months. Same year income is not taxable in same year. 1 year gap. This year you earn, income will be chargeable to tax in next year. So the year in which income is assessed for tax, that is assessment year, and income which is assessable for tax, that year is previous year. So income of previous year is assessable for tax. So this is income producing year. First assessee will earn the income. Assessee will earn the income. So the year in which he is earning the income, that income is previous year. Okay. and the year in which he is filing income tax return and income is chargeable to tax is assessment year. Understand? So in other words, also you can write this answer. Previous year means it is a period of 12 months immediately preceding to assessment year. Immediately preceding to assessment year. His assessment year is 2024-25. Immediately preceding to this, what is the 12 months period? That is 1st April 23 to 31st March 24. This is your previous year. So previous year is a period of 12 months immediately preceding the assessment year. Immediately preceding the assessment year is previous year. So 1st April 23 to 31st March 24. This is your previous year. Understand? So section is 3, but this is read with section 2 subsection 34. Okay, so we have to write both sections in exam when you are writing the previous year definition. अब देखिए भाई एग्जामिनेशन में असेसमेंट ईयर प्रीवियस ईयर नहीं पूछता. दैट इज वेरी सिंपल बिकॉज योर पेपर इज 100 मार्क पेपर, 50 डायरेक्ट टैक्स, 50 इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स, so there is no place for Allah Tappa question. Question will be always challenging. Clear? There is a twist in that. Because 50-50 means they have to cover minimum items only from maximum portion. Minimum items only from maximum portion. So important areas they will cover. They will not test what is previous year, what is assessment year. Every student know this answer. Clear? That's why don't expect that this type of questions will come. Only for knowledge purpose, for building the foundation required for tax paper, we are understanding all these points. Because in tax, what we earned in previous year, it is chargeable in next year. So the year in which it is chargeable, assessment year, and the year in which earned, previous year. According to that knowledge, only complete subject we have to learn. This is the reason I explained both, and subject also require coverage of these two. Now, sometime there is a specific situation in the sense, sometime 12 months period is not completed. Because in definition what we are learning, previous year is a period of 12 months immediately prior to or preceding assessment year. So sometime 12 months period is not completed. Even though if 12 months period is not completed, it will be treated as previous year. Like you started your business in August month, you have not started your business in April month. So actually previous year period is 1st April 23 to 31st March 24. This is your previous year. This is 12 months. So in definition they clearly mention that previous year is a period of 12 months commencing on 1st April, ending on 31st March, already commenced on 1st April, ending on 31st March, or this is immediately prior to assessment year. But sometime 12 months period is not completed. In those cases also, it will be treated as previous year. Like Mr. A has started his business on 1st August 2023. So from 1st August 2023 to 31st March 24, whatever he earned, that is chargeable to tax by considering this period as previous year. By considering this period as what? Previous year. So that is called as what? Newly set up business or profession. Newly set up business or profession. So in case of newly set up business or profession, previous year will not started from 1st April. It will be from date of commencement of business or profession to 31st March of next. Because in definition it will be started on 1st April 23. But it is not mandatory na कि every SSC will continue with the existing business or profession only. Sometimes some SSCs will start new business or profession also. So the SSCs who are starting new business or profession, for those cases it will be on which date onwards they started the business or profession. From that date only you have to count the previous year. So in case of newly set up business or profession, previous year will start from date of commencement of business or profession, not from 1st April onwards. Not from 1st April onwards. Understand? Similarly, new source of income came into existence. new source of income came into existence. For example, previously you have not operated in share market, but suddenly you decided to operate in share market. So you opened the Demat account also, you have PAN also. Some students think the person who is having PAN, that person is compulsory required to file income tax return. No. First of all, remove this point from your mind. Any person who is having PAN, in law there is no mandatory provision that that person has to file income tax return. Filing of return is required when your income is beyond the threshold limit. Beyond the threshold limit. So PAN is a identity which is issued by tax authorities. Here it is only a identity like Aadhaar card. So any student or any person who is having PAN, don't think you have PAN, income tax return filing is mandatory. No. This is the misconception in the mind of so many people. So first remove this point from your mind. For filing income tax return, it is compulsory you should have some income or you should have some loss or you are generally in the provisions of TDS. Then only you have to file the return. Understand? Otherwise there is no need to file return. You have PAN also. Clear? Suppose you created any new source of income. So it is not necessary that new source of income will be from 1st April only. You started share market operations from 1st July onwards. And you invested in, suppose, BPCL company. Right? You invested, suppose, 5 lakh rupees in BPCL company. If you invested 5 lakh rupees in BPCL company, generally there is no need to file income tax return. If you earn income more than the prescribed limit, basic exemption limit in previous year, then filing is required. By investing this money, don't think you have to file return. Clear? So, suppose you invested 5 lakh rupees and you have not sold these shares from past 2-3 years, then there is no need to file income tax return. Suppose if you got the dividend from company and the dividend amount is more than basic exemption limit and you have other sources of incomes also. So other sources of income plus dividend both is more than the basic exemption limit, then income tax filing necessary. Clear? Otherwise it is not necessary. Clear? Suppose you invested in BPCL 5 lakh rupees. Now this investment is made on 1st August 2023. 1st August नहीं 1st July कर देंगे इसको. 1st July 2023. So BPCL company has declared the dividend on 31st January 2023. 24. BPCL company has declared the dividend on 31st January 2024. Now the amount of dividend is, suppose, 10,000 rupees or more than 10,000 rupees or 5,000 or more than 5,000 rupees. Generally they will deduct the TDS. They will deduct the TDS. Why PAN is necessary when you invest in share market is, if you don't have PAN, TDS will be deducted with high rate. TDS will be deducted with, that is the reason Demat account opening time they will ask PAN. Don't think if you don't have PAN or if you have PAN you have to file income tax return. That is totally wrong impression in your mind. Clear? So if you have PAN, the only benefit is what? When dividends are declared or dividend is paid, on that dividend normal tax rate is applicable. If you don't have PAN, TDS will be at higher rate. So to avoid that, generally PAN is informed to the concerned Demat account organizer, TDSL. Clear? Suppose 10,000 rupees dividend you received. So this 10,000 rupees only income for you. There is no other income. So there is no need to file any tax return. Understand? Suppose if you have this 10,000 rupees income also, other sources of incomes also, then there is a requirement to file return. Suppose you invested 5 lakh rupees, clear, and you purchase the BPCL share for 500 rupees. Now when it reaches to 700, you sold the shares. It means you earned how much? 5 lakh divided by 500. How many shares you purchase? 1000. Now on each share how much you are earning? 200. So 200 into 1000. Now 2 lakh rupees you earn. Clear? And apart from this, you have some other incomes also. Then this is new source of income for you or not? Previously you have not got this income. But this assessment year, means this previous year, you got this. Suppose this 2 lakh rupees income you earned on 31st January. On this date only. Clear? Then this is new source of income or not? Previously you don't have any capital gain income. But this year on 31st January 24 you sold the shares and you earned 2 lakh rupees. Then this is new source of income or not? Then this disclosure is mandatory to be declared to income tax authorities. Even though your income is less than basic exemption limit, this is disclosed. This is disclosed. Because instead of profit, if there is a loss, then loss can be carried forward for next state assessment year only if you file return. Only if you file income tax return. So most of the students think what? When our income is more than basic exemption limit only, we have to file tax return. But if you have loss also, you have to file income tax return. Here, without filing income tax return, how income tax department understand? You have 2 lakh rupees loss. Suppose you purchase for 700 and you sold for suppose 600. So 1 lakh rupees loss or not? So this 1 lakh rupees loss you can adjust or you can set off in next 8 assessment years. How much time is available? 8 assessment year time. Clear? So if you file the return and if you show this 1 lakh rupees loss, then only this 1 lakh is adjusted from succeeding year income. Succeeding year income. That's why even if any assessee is not earning the income, he is suffering with loss also, has to file return. So generally what you learned in income tax law, पैसे कमाए तो रिटर्न फाइल करना, नहीं तो सब खत्म बात। तो पैसे नहीं कमाए नुकसान भी आया तो फाइलिंग होना पड़ता है, क्योंकि रिटर्न फाइल करे तो उनको मालूम पड़ता कि फलाना पर्सन को लॉस आया, तो क्या उनके पास कोई मशीन लगी हुई है क्या? भाई तुम्हारे को लॉस क्लेम करना है, फ्यूचर में प्रॉफिट से माइनस करना है, तुम्हारा जिम्मेदारी है, फाइलिंग करो। नहीं करे बोलेंगे, बोलेगा आप नहीं करे हम नहीं दे रहे, आपने रिटर्न फाइल नहीं किया है इसलिए हम लोग कोई बेनिफिट नहीं दे रहे आपको। सिंपल रूल। So what I am trying to explain here is, new source of income is arising to any assessee. So previous year will be from that year on, that particular point only. So जिस point से उसको new source of income आना चालू हो गया, from that point onwards only we will start the previous year. Suppose new source of income is started from 1st July onwards. Suppose you completed your CA CMA degree भाई, clear? 1 अप्रैल को ही जॉब को ज्वाइन करते क्या आप? मुहूर्त निकाले थे क्या पंडित के पास जाकर? 1 अप्रैल को ही जॉब मिला तो जाऊंगा, ना तो घर में बैठ जाऊंगा। और जनरली यू विल ज्वाइन एनी सर्विसेज ऑन एनी डेटा, कोई भी डेट पे चले जाते हैं आप। तो योर न्यू सोर्स ऑफ इनकम विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम 1 अप्रैल ओनली, और फ्रॉम अदर डेट्स। दैट्स व्हाई इन इनकम टैक्स लॉ देयर इज ए क्लैरिफिकेशन कि इन सम केसेस 1st April is not base. 1st April is not base. The date on which new source of income started, from that date only you have to count the previous year. Like you joined the services from 1st July onwards, so 1st July only you have to consider. So from 1st July onwards only you have to start calculation till 31st March. Understand? तो काउंटिंग कब से करेंगे? 1st July से स्टार्ट करेंगे. So in case where new source of income came into existence, previous year shall be commence from the date on which the said source income existed. Understand? Like you joined the services of one company from 1st November onwards. So you have to start your previous year from which date onwards? 1st November to 31st March 24. This will be your previous year. Ultimately, what we understand so far, the previous year need not to be 12 months period. It may be less than 12 months. It may be less than 12 months. The 12 months से कम भी हो सकता है. 12 months से कम भी हो सकता है. It can be less than 12 months also. Okay? आया है समझ में? So new source of income, understand? तो यहाँ पे 2 examples are given. Mr. X set up business from 27th August. So previous year will be started from 27 August to 31st March 24. Y is having new source of income came into existence from 25th February. So from 25th February to 31st March. Sometime if only one transaction you have made, that transaction you have made on 31st March only. पूरे शेयर 31st मार्च के दिन बेच दिए, पूरा पोर्टफोलियो खाली कर दिए. Suppose you invested 3 years before in share market. Now after 3 years, share market position means valuations are very good, stock valuations also very good. So you decided कि on 31st March only I will sell. So on 31st March all shares you sold. On that single day only you earn 10 lakh rupees income. अब एक ही दिन पैसा कमाए आप, पूरा साल भर कमाए, only one day you earned. So one day is also treated as what? Previous year. One day is also treated as what? Previous year. So 12 months is not necessary. Even one day, one transaction is also sufficient. It should be between 1st April to 31st March. Between 1st April to 31st March. Understand? देखिए मैं कोई भी सब्जेक्ट प्रैक्टिकल से लिंक कर देता हूँ, बुकिश नॉलेज नहीं देता हूँ मैं. समझ में आया? वैसा है तो या तो हम पढ़ाने के लिए, नहीं तो मेरे को जरूरत भी नहीं है पढ़ाने की. Always I will generally link practical. I will not based on totally bookish language. ऐसा पढ़े तो बट्टीफाई करे जैसा हो जाएगा फिर वो. चलिए नेक्स्ट. Next is previous year in case of undisclosed sources of incomes. Previous year in case of undisclosed sources of income. Previous year in case of undisclosed sources of income means sometime some income will be not traceable in earlier years. Some of the incomes will be traceable in previous year. So the year in which it has been traced out by the assessing officer, he will assume that income is related to previous year only. Understand? Actually that may be related to 10 years back, that may be related to 5 years back, that may be related to any other year also. But suppose if assessing officer is tracing out that income in previous year, or is tracing out that transaction in previous year, so generally in income tax law, what rule is followed? If any transaction which has been traced in previous year, that will be treated as previous year transaction. So especially income also. If any income is related to 5 years before or generally 10 years before, but it was identified and traced in previous year, so that will be treated as which year income? Previous year income. That is called as what? Previous year in case of undisclosed sources. Means assessee has not disclosed that. He want to hide that. He want to, भाई कोई भी आदमी जनरली पैसे की चोरी करना चाहता है, टैक्स की चोरी करना चाहता है. जनरली इनकम टैक्स में कोई ज़्यादा टैक्स पे करना चाहता है क्या? Very limited number of people will pay the taxes honestly. Majority people will try what? First he'll think I will not pay any tax also. But because of legal obligation he will pay some tax. Ultimately what is his mindset? If any possibility is there, I will not pay any tax also. So similarly he will hide so many transactions. He will hide so many transactions. So when he is hiding so many transactions, sometime it is traced also. Sometime it is traced. कब तक छुपेगा, कब तक खैर करेंगे आप? कभी न कभी तो ट्रेस हो जाएगा वो. If transactions are small nature, small amount, then okay भाई, income tax department is also not watching you carefully, not identifying your transaction. But your transactions are very high volume transaction, definitely one day they will trace out and they will catch you. For that time, that will be treated as which year income? Previous year income. तो जब क्या मान लेंगे उसको? Previous year income. हाँ, generally they will give the option to assessee. He has to prove that is not a previous year income. Then there is no tax on that. If you are unable to prove, if fail to prove, chargeable. Burden of proof will be on always assessee. Burden of proof will be always on assessee. Proof करना टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट को न रहता, प्रूफ करना किसको रहता है? assessee को रहता है. Clear? So first, unexplained cash credit. Unexplained cash credit. Unexplained cash credit means this is section 68. This is section 68. Unexplained cash credit means if in the books of accounts any credit has taken place. In the books of accounts of SSE, if any credit has taken place and that credit amount is generally a very high amount or on which SSE is not paying any tax or he has not disclosed this in past also. SSE के बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स में क्रेडिट डाले, उन्होंने क्रेडिट करा एक ट्रांजैक्शन, लेकिन वो जो ट्रांजैक्शन क्रेडिट हुआ है वो जो है असेसिंग ऑफिसर को पहले नहीं दिखाया उन्होंने और उसके हिसाब से रिटर्न भी फाइलिंग नहीं करा उन्होंने. He has not disclosed that to assessing officer tax authorities and he has not filed any tax return also by disclosing that income or that credit. So generally tax authorities will do what? They will catch those type of transaction and they will ask the assessee, by from which source you got this credit? Give the explanation. So assessee has to give the explanation. If assessee fail to give any explanation, that will be treated as previous year income. For example, Mr. X is having a bank account. In his bank account, 25 lakh rupees credited. How much credited? 25 lakh rupees credited in 2023-24. Now he filed the income tax return. Clear? And he has not disclosed that 25 lakh rupees. He has not disclosed that 25 lakh rupees. Only disclose other transactions. Clear? समझ में आया ना? He has not disclosed that 25 lakh rupees. He mentioned other income. He disclosed other income only. Nowadays, one important rule is there. When you file your income tax return, na, you have to attach 12-month bank statement. मैं तो रिटर्न फाइलिंग नहीं करने देता हूँ आपको. 12 मंथ का बैंक स्टेटमेंट लगाओ बोलता हूँ. कई बच्चे तो टैक्स पढ़ चुके हैं 2-2, 3-3 बार, ये भी नहीं मालूम कि इनकम टैक्स में क्या क्या अटैच करते हैं. करेक्ट? So 12 months bank statement is mandatory to disclose. Otherwise they will not accept your return. So when you disclose your bank statement, उसमें नहीं आएगा वो. But suppose you have 2-3 bank accounts, only you disclose one bank account, but the 25 lakh rupees credit is in another bank account. So you thought ki already I disclosed the bank account details. In that there is no transaction of this 25 lakh. I am maintaining other account also. In that there is a 25 lakh rupees transaction. So now income tax department will not have any sources to identify this. Now you relaxed. But after certain period of time, sometime it will be traced out and notice will be issued. बुलाते फिर एसएससी को, कहाँ से आए 25 लाख रुपीस बताइए. तो आपको बोलना पड़ेगा किसी से कर्जा लिए, या कोई प्रॉपर्टी बेचने से आया, या कोई दोस्त अपने पास डाल के फिर वापस ले जाने वाला है. आया कहाँ से वो? फ्रॉम विच सोर्स यू गॉट दिस? यू डू नॉट एक्सप्लेन. 25 लाख रुपए इनकम है, टैक्स भरो बोल देता सीधा. इट इज सेक्शन 68. और टैक्स भी वैसा सा नहीं लगता, इस पर भारी परसेंटेज से लगता है सेक्शन में. ये सेक्शन में काफ़ी हाई रेट से टैक्स लगता है. ये सेक्शन ऐसा है, मालूम है कि ये सेक्शन में कोई फंस गया तो दोबारा चोरी नहीं करना फिर उन्हें. वेरी हाई टैक्स रेट इज अप्लीकेबल हियर. अंडरस्टैंड? सो फर्स्ट दे विल गिव द चांस टू assessee. Assessee has to prove. If he means unable to prove, ultimately it is stated as what? Income of previous year. Income of previous year. Understand? So where the assessee offers no explanation to assessing officer for any sum credited in books of accounts or explanation so offered is not satisfactory, then the sum shall be charged as income in previous year in which it is credited in the books of account. तो क्या मान लेंगे इसको? प्रीवियस ईयर का इनकम मान लेंगे. आया समझ में? इसलिए कभी भी कोई बोला आपको समझो मैं तुम्हारे अकाउंट में कुछ ट्रांजैक्शन करता हूँ, जरा परमिशन दो ना मेरे को बोलकर. सपोज योर फ्रेंड इज हैविंग वेरी ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ मनी, is requesting you, I will credit 20 lakh rupees in your account and after certain period of time again I will take that money. तो नहीं देना उसको चांस फिर. तो क्या आप प्रॉब्लम में रहेंगे? फिर कौन प्रॉब्लम में आएंगे? आप. सपोज आपका फ्रेंड आपको, योर फ्रेंड हैज क्रेडिटेड दिस अमाउंट इन 23rd March 2024 and he has already taken back this amount on 1st May 2024. वापस ले लिया पैसा आपसे. तो यू कैन प्रूफ इजिली, भाई माई फ्रेंड हैज गिवन द अमाउंट फॉर एन इमरजेंसी पर्पज और देर आफ्टर ही हैज टेकन बैक, देन देर इज नो प्रॉब्लम. बट इफ हैज नॉट टेकन बैक दिस अमाउंट और टेकन बैक आफ्टर द ड्यू डेट ऑफ फाइलिंग इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न, देन यू कैन बी इन ट्रबल. आपको अननेसेसरी इनकम टैक्स ऑफिसर के चक्कर करना पड़ता फिर. डोंट डू एनी ट्रांजैक्शन which is not earned by you from your sources. Other sources generally, other person sources generally not be initiated by you. That is the rule. आप दूसरों के ट्रांजैक्शन अपने पास इनिशिएट करने नहीं देना. ओके. नेक्स्ट, सिमिलरली सपोज यू परचेज वन फ्लैट. फ्लैट इज ए इन्वेस्टमेंट और नॉट? सपोज यू परचेज वन बिल्डिंग, you purchase shares here and very high amount of shares you purchased here, and similarly you invested in gold, you invested in silver, you invested in commodities and very high substantial amount you invested. Processing officer will generally explain from which source you invested this money. ये तुम्हारा खुद का पैसा है या चोरी का पैसा है? क्लियर? इन्वेस्टमेंट करो, कोई मना नहीं है उसमें. 1 करोड़ करना है शेयर मार्केट में करो. इवन 1 करोड़ ऑल्सो कैन इन्वेस्ट, 10 करोड़ ऑल्सो कैन इन्वेस्ट, नो प्रॉब्लम. बट द इशू इज फ्रॉम व्हाट रिसोर्सेस यू गॉट दिस इन्वेस्टमेंट अमाउंट. बिकॉज यू परचेज फ्लैट, यू परचेज बिल्डिंग, यू परचेज गोल्ड, यू परचेज कमोडिटी, यू आर परचेजिंग लग्जरियस कार्स. So from where you got this amount which you are investing in, you have to explain the source. If you are unable to explain the source, already whatever you invested, that is stated as what? Previous year income. Suppose if you prove, no, already I have previous year income tax return files, I shown this income, then there is no problem. Already in earlier year, suppose you disclose this. Suppose previous 5-10 years you are filing income tax return and every year you are disclosing 3-4 lakh rupees income, and now you invested 10 lakh rupees in share market and assessing officer issued notice. Now you can easily explain, bhai, from 10 years onwards I am filing tax return. Every year I am disclosing 3 lakh, 4 lakh rupees income in that or 2 lakh rupees income in that. So accordingly I have some surplus cash also. So that surplus cash I invested in market. Then there is no problem for it. But suddenly if there is no explanation in past income tax return files, okay, in income tax returns you disclose 50,000 income only, 10,000 means 80,000 income only in starting stage, and you are showing your income very near to basic exemption limit, but your amount of investment is very high, then assessing officer will compulsory ask, from where you adjusted this amount or arranged this amount. Because your income tax return point of view, amount will be 5 lakh, 6 lakhs only, but your investment is 10 lakh. Then that will be treated as what? Previous year income. Previous year income. So investment karo. There is no problem on investment, but you should have income which is already disclosed in the taxation. Then you can invest that, no problem. Clear? नहीं तो प्रॉब्लम आता है। दूसरी जगह से भी बच सकते हैं आप, जैसे एग्जाम्पल के लिए सपोज देयर इज अ डिस्प्यूट बिटवीन वन कपल, ओके, एंड दे वेंट फॉर कोर्ट फॉर डाइवोर्स। सुनो ध्यान से, तो इन डाइवोर्स जज हैज डिसाइडेड कि 50 लाख रुपीज कॉम्पनसेशन टू द पर्सन हु इज गिविंग द डाइवोर्स। तो लेडीज को 50 लाख रुपीज, वुमेन को 50 लाख रुपीज कॉम्पनसेशन मिल गया, जेंट्स को नहीं मिलता। समझ में आया ना? अब 50 लाख रुपए मिल गया उनको, मिला ना भाई? अब ये प्रीवियसली इनकम टैक्स में दिखा है क्या उनके मिसेस, दैट वुमेन हैज डिस्क्लोज दिस 50 लाख रुपीज प्रीवियसली इनकम टैक्स लॉ? नाउ शी इन्वेस्टेड 20 लाख रुपीज इन जियो फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज शेयर। 30 लाख रुपए किसमें डाल दिया उन्होंने? अब इनकम टैक्स ऑफिसर बुलाया, समझो previously you have not filed any income tax return, now you invested 20 lakh rupees in Jio Financial share, from where you got this? नो बोल सकते मेरे को डाइवोर्स सेटलमेंट में आया पैसा है, तो बच जाती फिर उन्होंने। समझ में आया? नहीं तो फिर फंस जाते उन्होंने। क्लियर? तो हमेशा इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी यू हैव टू शो ट्रांजैक्शन इन इनकम टैक्स। समटाइम कोर्ट से जो पैसा था वो दैट ऑल्सो यू कैन इन्वेस्ट इन इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, बिकॉज कोर्ट तो इनकम टैक्स लॉ से बड़ा है। सपोज यू रिसीव एनी कॉम्पनसेशन बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्ट ऑर्डर, क्लियर? so that is valid, you can invest that, so there is no generally tax complications. Understand? आ रहा है समझ में? नेक्स्ट इस 2 points clear? सेक्शन 68 सेक्शन 69 दोनों क्लियर है? Now next is section 69A, unexplained money. Unexplained money. Some people will have jewelry, some people will have money, some people will have raw gold, bullion, precious articles, etc. Clear? Like previously my friend means generally negotiated with me ki exactly near to my house one person is doing the briefcase business, and that person is generally becoming rich and rich year on year basis. Starting only have small house, now he purchased luxurious house at Banjara Hills also. So if you have any links with assessing officer, generally you can take my number and communicate to them, intimate to them. So फिर generally assessing officer will come with search warrant. क्या किसके साथ आएगा उन्होंने? सर्च वारंट के साथ आता है। फिर तलाशी लेना है तुम्हारे घर की, नहीं ले सकते बोले तो वारंट बताता फिर उन्होंने, आई हैव दी वारंट ऑल्सो। देन ही विल सर्च, सपोज इन बंजारा हिल्स हाउस करोड़ों रुपए मिला, ऐसे परसों मिला ना एमपी के पास से, वो सिर्फ लीगली है वो, और कितना मिला कि वो गोल्ड, ज्वेलरी, सिल्वर, बुलियन, प्रीशियस आर्टिकल्स। तो ड्यूरिंग द कोर्स ऑफ सर्च सडनली सर्च पे आ गए, and during the course of search they found money also, bullion also, cash also, etc. So assessing officer will ask, भाई कहाँ से आया ये? So they have to explain that भाई बिजनेस करने से आया या प्रॉपर्टी बेचने से आया, has to explain. If fail, that will be treated as what? Previous year income. That will be treated as previous year income and चार्जेबल टू टैक्स। ये सर्च बोलकर पढ़ेंगे आप फाइनल लेवल में, सेक्शन 132 में आता है वो, सर्च एंड सीजर बोलकर सेक्शन 132 में आएगा वो। कहाँ पे आएगा? तो वेयर असेसी ओन्स एनी मनी, बुलियन मीन्स रॉ गोल्ड, बिस्किट वगैरह रहता ना, बिस्किट, ब्रिक्स, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? सोने के बिस्किट, सोने के ईंट बोलते हैं ना, क्या बोलते हैं? बुलियन, ज्वेलरी, एक्सेट्रा, and does not record the same in books of accounts. Clear? Does not record the same in books of account means this is not legal. क्या हो गया ये? लीगल हो गया है, राइट। सपोज अब इलेक्शन आ रहा है भाई, इन जून मंथ देर इज इलेक्शन ना, सपोज इन नाइट टाइम यू आर गोइंग टू हाउस, suddenly one bag is there, in that bag 200 crores amount is available, so luckily you got that bag and you are carrying that bag to your house and you stored in Godrej Almara. Clear? So that is which money? Real money हो गया ना आपका. So you can show in books of accounts? Not possible ना. So that type of money, or the money which is not shown in the books of accounts or which is not earned from any transaction on which income tax is paid, then that money will be considered as what? Unexplained. If previously you have not done any transaction, you have not paid any tax. Clear? Suppose you have done the business, and in business you have made some transactions, and from those transactions you earn money, on that you paid tax also, or you file the income tax return also, then that money is explained money. That money is what? Explained. But you haven't shown this in anywhere in income tax law or in other also. So suddenly if it is traced out, it will be what? Unexplained. Unexplained हो जाएगा. क्या हो जाएगा वो? Unexplained. जैसे एग्जाम्पल के लिए सपोज 1 kilogram gold खरीद के रखे नो, but this 1 kilogram gold he purchased from the money which he got from sale of property, and sale of property already you paid long term capital gain tax. Long term capital gain tax पे कर दिए, and that money you invested in gold. Clear? That money you invested in gold. So gold is explained हो जाएगा. क्या हो जाएगा वो? Explained. Because already you paid the tax from sale of property, whatever money you got, on that you already paid the tax. So if you invest that amount in gold and that gold is traced out, that is not considered as unexplained. It is considered as what? Explained. Already जो टैक्स पे करे उस अमाउंट है उससे ही खरीद रहे आप, बट ऐसा अमाउंट है जो टैक्स में आया ही नहीं है, वो टैक्स वालों को दिखाई नहीं आप, तो सीधा आपके पास आ गया, तो फिर क्या मानेगा उन्होंने? अनएक्सप्लेन्ड. क्या मानेगा? अनएक्सप्लेन्ड. Unexplained money, jewelry, bullion, etc. If it is found, it will be treated as previous year income. It is treated as what? Previous year income if the proper explanation is not given or explanation offered to assessing officer is not satisfactory. Assessing officer has to satisfied from that. Assessing officer से क्या होना? बार बार अंडरलाइन क्यों कर रहा हूं मैं? सेटिस्फाइड करना उसको, सेटिस्फाइड करना उसको, नहीं तो फिर फंस जाते आप. सेटिस्फाइड कैसे करना ये बोलता हूं मैं. प्रॉपर्टी वगैरह का देके कर सकते. क्लियर भाई? इनकम टैक्स को जबरदस्त तरह से समझना है ना. KGF फिल्म देखना. कौन सी फिल्म देखना? KGF देखना. आधा इनकम टैक्स आ जाता आपको, आधा इनकम टैक्स आ जाता आपको. बोल तो कैसा चलता मॉनिटर सब्जेक्ट, कैसा चलता उस स्पिरिट आता आपके अंदर। वो तो प्रोविजन तो पढ़ना ही है, बट कैसा चलता सब्जेक्ट वो मालूम पड़ जाता आपको। नेक्स्ट, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स नॉट फुल्ली डिस्क्लोज्ड। इन्वेस्टमेंट्स नॉट फुल्ली डिस्क्लोज्ड। भाई, you purchase gold, silver, bullion or any property, but you have not fully disclosed that. Suppose you purchase 20 crore rupees in item, but you shown in the books of accounts as 5 crores only. कितना दिखा रहे? 5 crores only. So 15 crore rupees you haven't disclosed that. So this is called as what? Investment not fully disclosed. So in that case you have to explain the offer, means you have to offer to explain all this. This is 5 crore property or this is not it, means 20 crore property. If your explanation is not satisfactory, bhai, ultimately it is proof ki actual property value is 20 crore, but you have shown 5 crores only. So remaining 15 crore is treated as what? Previous year income. Previous year income ban jayega फिर. So sometime investment should be disclosed in books of accounts, but at what value you are disclosing, that is not fair. That is not fair. You are disclosing the property value less. You are disclosing the investment value less. So if assessing officer having doubt, he will investigate. He will ask the question. He will ask the explanation. You have to justify him. Otherwise, difference amount is stated as what? Previous year income. क्लियर है? जैसा बीच में लालू प्रसाद को वारंट इशू आना, कहीं के लिए इशू आओ, राबड़ी देवी उनके पत्नी को भी इशू आना, तो कहीं के लिए इशू आ बोलो। अब थोड़े बच्चे तो बोलेंगे कि लोग मोदी के खिलाफ बोलते इसलिए इशू आ। नहीं, वो लोग जो है 4 करोड़ रुपए का प्रॉपर्टी 5 लाख में खरीदे। 4 करोड़ का प्रॉपर्टी कितने में खरीदे? 5 लाख में खरीदे। आया समझ में? 4 करोड़ रुपए का प्रॉपर्टी कितने में खरीदे? 5 करोड़ का प्रॉपर्टी कितने में खरीदे? 5 लाख। 4 या 5 करोड़ की प्रॉपर्टी खरीदे 5 लाख में। बुक्स में 5 लाख दिखाया होगा, कितना दिखा है? 5 lakhs। तो इन्वेस्टमेंट नॉट फुली डिस्क्लोजर, नॉट फुली डिस्क्लोजर, तो फिर ये सेक्शन अट्रैक्ट हो सकता है वहां पर। दिस सेक्शन कैन बी अट्रैक्टेड। ओके, लालू प्रसाद यादव के बारे में नहीं मालूम है तुम लोग? हिस्ट्री अभी लालू प्रसाद यादव की जब बेटी की शादी थी ना, पूरे बिहार में जितने भी गाड़ियां पूरे तो छीन लिया था उन्होंने बारातियों के स्वागत के लिए। आप पेपर में डाले सो है और न्यूज चैनल बताए सो है। बहुत महान महान हस्ती हो। चलो इधर आ जाओ। तो व्हाट इज जनरली चार्जेबल? एक्सेस अमाउंट। क्लियर? नेक्स्ट, अनएक्सप्लेन्ड एक्सपेंडिचर। अनएक्सप्लेन्ड expenditure. Unexplained expenditure means sometime the expenditure which is incurred by the assessee is literally very high. Suppose he is showing every year 5 lakh rupees, 6 lakh rupees income in income tax return, and he is paying 5-10,000 rupees income tax only. Suddenly on marriage of his, means on marriage son, he lavishly spent 20-30 crores rupees. Clear? He booked very, means costly hotels. Clear? So that expenditure amount is very high. So ultimately income tax assessing officer can issue the notice, and he can ask, bhai, in income tax law, in income tax filing you are showing 5-10 lakh rupees income and tax amount also very limited, but on marriage you are spending lavishly. So from where you got this money? That is not explained, or explanation is not up to the mark. The expenditure which is already incurred, that will be treated as previous year income. Expenditure तो गया, क्या मान लेंगे उसको उल्टा भी? Previous year income, and it will be chargeable at very high tax rate. तो हाई रेट के साथ टैक्स हो जाएगा वो. So that is called as what? Unexplained expenditure. तो यूजुअली मैरिज फंक्शंस में, एजुकेशन पे, कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ हाउस पे होता है, समझ में आया ना? लैविशली स्पेंड करते लोग. तो इफ दैट इज ऑलरेडी shown in the books of accounts or income tax, no problem. otherwise there can be a tax means complications. Okay, next is amount paid or borrowed through hundi. Amount paid or borrowed through hundi. Now hundi means what? Hundi means what? Negotiable instrument. Hundi means what? Negotiable instrument, or generally without any account to account transaction. Account to account transaction. Generally, if you borrow any money, you repay any money, at the time of borrowing also bank is crediting your account. At the time of repayment also you will generally means paying to bank and it is debited or not. So account to account रहता ना. But hundi means no account. In cash you will raise any cash, repayment. Raising also in cash, repayment also in cash. That is called as what? Hundi. So one type of negotiable instrument, but this is cash negotiable instrument. So without means account pay transaction, without account pay check, without online transaction, you are doing this cash to cash basis. Like you are a businessman, you are raising 10 lakh, 20 lakh rupees in cash as a loan and you are repaying also in cash. So you are not showing the transaction in account. So that is what? Amount borrowed or paid through hundi. So in that case also, if this is trace out, अगर ये पकड़ में आ गया है ये, so that will be treated as what? Previous year income. नहीं आया अलग बात है भाई, नहीं आया अलग बात है. Paid और borrowed through हुंडी है, ट्रेस हो गया है, तो प्रीवियस ईयर इनकम ट्रेस नहीं हुआ, नहीं है. A transaction which is made without any means account pay check means borrowing also, repayment also, other than account pay check. So that will be regarded as what? Income of previous year, income of financial year. Understand? So at the time of borrowing also it should be through account pay. At the time of repayment also it should be through account. Otherwise, if this transaction is traced out, treated as previous year income. क्या बोलते हैं उसको अपन लोग? Previous year का income. Borrowing भी करो तो हाँ, कहीं कर रहे borrowing आप बिना account पे check के. जब borrowing ही कर रहे तो legal में करो ना. वही और borrowing it in legal way. आप borrowing करो तो account पे ही से लो. Account में डलवाओ पैसे. And repayment also account से करो, check से करो. Why you are raising in cash? Why you are paying in cash? Already we mentioned in income tax law. Any amount which you borrow in cash and repay in cash, we will treat that as income. फिर उसके बाद कर रहे हैं आप, क्या करेगा फिर उन्होंने? Treated as previous year income or not? ये सेक्शन लगा के previous year income मान लेता हूँ. आया समझ में? Now first we have to understand what is the difference between previous year and what is the difference between financial year. Financial year is compulsory 12 months का रहता है. Financial year means in that duration will be 12 months. Previous year may be 12 months or less than 12 months. That is the main difference. Actually, income earned in financial year or income earned in previous year only chargeable to tax in assessment year. But previous year means it may be less than 12 months also, it may be exactly 12 months also. Financial year means it is compulsory 12 months. 12 months complete हुए तो इसको financial year बोलते हैं. 12 मंथ से अगर थोड़ा भी कम हो गया फिर क्या बोलेंगे उसको? प्रीवियस ईयर. 12 मंथ्स एग्जैक्टली पूरे खत्म हो गए तो क्या बोलेंगे? फाइनेंशियल ईयर. So when CA prepares the income tax return file and you have shown your 12 months income, फाइनेंशियल ईयर लिखता हूँ. क्या लिखता हूँ? और अगर आप 6-7 मंथ्स का या लेस देन 12 मंथ्स का शो करो तो क्या लिखता हूँ? प्रीवियस ईयर लिखता हूँ. आया समझ में? तो फाइनेंशियल ईयर मीन्स 12 months completed. Complete 12 months duration is immediately prior to assessment year is financial year. Less than 12 months period is previous year. That is the difference. Actually previous year income also chargeable in assessment year, financial year income also chargeable in assessment. But the difference is what? Previous year less than 12 months रहेगा, financial year exactly 12 months रहेगा. That is the difference. Understand? Unexplained area is cleared. First, unexplained cash credit. Clear? Unexplained investment. Unexplained money, jewelry, bullion, cash. Investments not fully disclosed. Unexplained expenditure. In amount paid or borrowed through hundi. तो टोटल कितने सेक्शन है ये? 6 सेक्शन से. कौन से? सेक्शन 68, 69, 69A, 69B, 69C, 69D. Unexplained cash credit. Clear? Unexplained investment. Unexplained money, jewelry, cash, bullion. Next, investments not fully disclosed. Unexplained expenditure. Then amount paid or borrowed through hundi. So this is treated as what? Previous year income. So क्या मानेंगे? Previous year income मानेंगे. आया समझ में? अगले क्लास में मालूम पड़ेगा. In this section, if an income is traced out, it will be taxed at what rate? It will be taxed at what rate? एक high rate से tax होता है. This will be taxable according to very high rate. Next, previous year rule and its exception. Previous year rule and its exception. Before previous year rule and its exception, first we have to understand the definition of SSC. इसको समझ लेंगे एक बार. क्या समझ लेंगे? ठीक है, पढ़ ले सकते हैं, ऐसा प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बाद में देख लो ना तो. चलो चलिए, previous year rule and its exception. Previous year rule means what? Any income which is earned in previous year is chargeable to tax in assessment year. That is the general rule. General rule in income tax law is what? The income earned in previous year is chargeable to tax in assessment year. This year में taxable रहेगा वो assessment year. So there is a gap of 1 year ना, or there is a some gap or not? कुछ gap आ रहा है या immediate tax हो रहा है? Gap आ रहा ना gap? Previous year है तो gap can be less than 12 months also. Gap can be 12 months also. But financial year है तो gap कितना रहता है? Exactly 12 months or between 12 months, right? But sometimes some incomes are taxable in the same year in which it is earned, not in next year. So that is called as exception to the rule of previous year. Exception to the rule of previous year. कुछ incomes ऐसे रहेंगे जो previous year के previous year में ही tax हो जाएंगे, अगले साल में नहीं. जनरली हमेशा क्या रूल चलता है इनकम टैक्स लॉ में? प्रीवियस ईयर में जो पैसा कमाए उसका टैक्स नेक्स्ट ईयर में. इनकम अर्न्ड इन प्रीवियस ईयर इज चार्जेबल टू टैक्स इन नेक्स्ट ईयर, दैट इज असेसमेंट ईयर. दिस इज द जनरल रूल. बट इन सम सर्कमस्टेंसेस इनकम अर्न्ड इन द प्रीवियस ईयर इज चार्जेबल टू टैक्स इन प्रीवियस ईयर, नॉट इन असेसमेंट ईयर. क्लियर? सो व्हाट आर द एरियाज इन विच दिस रूल इज एप्लीकेबल इज कॉल्ड एज एक्सेप्शन टू द रूल ऑफ प्रीवियस ईयर. तो इन दैट फर्स्ट रहेगा नॉन रेसिडेंट शिपिंग कंपनी. नॉन रेसिडेंट शिपिंग कंपनी, तो शिपिंग कंपनी का जो बिजनेस है नॉन रेसिडेंट, shipping business by non-resident. In this particular case, income earned by shipping company in previous year is chargeable to tax or assessed in the same year instead of chargeable in next year. उस year में tax हो जाएगा वो. It is not chargeable in next year. Understand? This section is applies to non-resident engaged in shipping business and deriving income therefrom by carrying passenger, livestock, mail, goods from a part of India. Okay. Then 7.5% of freight paid or payable to owner or chargeable or any person on behalf of whether in India or outside India shall be deemed to be total income, and tax at the rate applicable for foreign company, that is 40% plus surcharge plus health education cess. ये तो सब कॉमन बात है. मेन पॉइंट यहाँ पे आएगा. Such tax shall be paid before departure of the vessel. Thus, income is taxable in the same year in which carriage is collected, not in immediately following assessment year. Clear? Anyhow, for foreign company, what is the tax rate? You learn it for later stage. Right now, that is not important. Income is chargeable in which year? That is important right now. So income is chargeable in same year, not in next year. अभी क्या पढ़े भाई आप लोग? Income is previous year income is chargeable in next year. So income earned in 23-24 chargeable in 24-25 पढ़े ना? अब 23-24 का इनकम 23-24 में चार्ज होता. तो बिफोर डिपार्चर ऑफ वेसल, शिप डिपार्चर होने से पहले ही वो टैक्स पे कर देना पड़ता उसको, जितना भी कमाया और पूरा कब पे कर देना उन्होंने? वेसल जाने से पहले ही. ऐसा रूल क्यों लगा है सोचो? के लिए गाना याद करना, परदेसी जाना नहीं मुझे छोड़ के. क्यों? शिप जाते जाते डूब गया टाइटैनिक के जैसा, तो फिर कहां से लाके देंगे टैक्स? सुनो, लाकर दे सकता क्या? बोलो, शिप जाते जाते डूब गया तो कहां से टैक्स देंगे बेचारा? मरगेस वाले से पैसा वसूल करते क्या? प्रैक्टिकली नॉट पॉसिबल ना. That's why this rule is framed. Shipping business is a very risky business. Shipping business is very risky business. So when vessel is leaving or departure, at the same point of time only tax will be collected. Reason, at the time of going to the different country from one port to another port, there may be a possibility that ship can be sunk also. So again there is a loss also. So unnecessarily complications will increase. That's why they earn the income from our port. They earn the income from our port. The income is also paid on the same time. There should be no delay in that. There should be no, अपने से अपने पोर्ट पे तो आगे पैसा कमा लिया ना उन्होंने, फिर टैक्स बाद में क्यों अभी दो? क्यों? ना विदेशी है ना भाई, क्या भरोसा उसका? अपने देश का है क्या उन्होंने? अभी ले लेना टैक्स उससे. दिस इज द बेसिक रीजन बिहाइंड दिस रूल. Okay, so non-resident shipping company, in which year they will generally assess? Previous year income is assessable in previous year itself, not in next or assessment year. So previous year income is assessable in previous year, not in next year. Understand? आ गया समझ में? Next, person leaving India. अभी क्या गाना याद करो बोला मैं? पर्सन लिविंग इंडिया. सपोज एनी पर्सन हु इज लिविंग इंडिया फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ एनी रीजन भाई. क्लियर? तो एनी पर्सन हु इज लिविंग इंडिया, जनरली दैट पर्सन विल नॉट कम अगेन ना टू डू द असेसमेंट प्रोसीजर, टू डू द असेसमेंट मैटर्स. अब विजय माल्या इंडिया छोड़ के चले गया, कहाँ लेकर आ रहे? सो टैक्स अप. हाँ, Vijay Mallya has escaped from India or not? Now Indian government is able to arrest him because according to London law अपन अरेस्ट नहीं कर सकते उसको. क्यों? लंदन में जब उन्होंने गलती करेंगे जब की बात है, वो अभी तो नहीं कर रहा ना उन्होंने, तो इसलिए फिर वहां जाके छुप जा सकता हूँ उन्होंने. इसलिए एनी पर्सन हु इज लिविंग इंडिया, फ्रॉम दैट पर्सन टैक्स शुड बी कलेक्टेड इन सेम ईयर. टैक्स शुड बी कलेक्टेड इन सेम ईयर. बट ये जनरली कब होता? when there is intention कि that person will not again return to India. That person will not again return to India. जाकर फिर वापस आने वाला है तो बात अलग है. बट इंटेंशन इज व्हाट? फिर इंडिया को आने वाला नहीं है. परदेसी का मतलब क्या है? तो वापस नहीं आता. This section applied to when appears to assessing officer that individual may leave India during current year or shortly after its expiry and he has no intention of returning back to India. तो वापस इंडिया को आने का चांस है उसका, तो तब ये अट्रैक्ट होगा. क्लियर? समझ में आया ना? In case of such person, total income from 1st April of that assessment year up to probable date of departure from India shall be taxable in that year itself at the rate applicable to assessment year. So same year income is chargeable in same year, not in असेसमेंट ईयर, अंडरस्टैंड। नेक्स्ट टेम्पररी पर्पस के लिए कोई समझो स्टैब्लिशमेंट करिए आप, एसोसिएशन ऑफ पर्सन, बॉडी ऑफ इंडिविजुअल, आर्टिफिशियल जुरिडिकल पर्सन फॉर्म्ड फॉर पर्टिकुलर इवेंट और पर्पस। तो एक टेम्पररी पर्पस के लिए आप एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बनाएं, एंड वंस दैट पर्पस इज अकम्प्लिश्ड और कंप्लीटेड, यू डिसॉल्व दैट। एक टेम्पररी पर्पस के लिए बनाए, फिर उसको डिसॉल्व कर दिया आप। क्लियर? यू मेड फॉर टेम्पररी पर्पस, देयर आफ्टर यू डिसॉल्व दैट। एक एसोसिएशन ऑफ पर्सन यू मेड, बॉडी ऑफ इंडिविजुअल you made, or artificial juridical person you made for temporary purpose or for a specific purpose. Once that purpose is completed, that establishment has been dissolved. That establishment has been dissolved. खत्म कर दिया उसको आप। क्लियर? जैसा कोविड में आया था, देखिए कोविड में कई सारे बच्चों के पेरेंट्स मर गए, तो उनको मदद करने के लिए एक AUP बनाया आप। क्लियर? एंड दैट इज डिसॉल्व्ड आफ्टर कोविड इज कंप्लीटेड। हो गया ना खत्म अब। नाउ इन दैट पर्टिकुलर केस, एनी इनकम विच इज अर्नड इन प्रीवियस ईयर, that will be chargeable in that year only, not in next year. Clear? This section apply to where assessing officer is of the opinion that association of person, body of individual or artificial juridical person formed for a particular event or purpose may be dissolved in the assessment year in which it is formed or shortly thereafter. तो यहाँ पर भी क्या हो जाएगा, previous year income chargeable in previous year, not in assessment year. उसी ईयर में चार्ज हो जाएगा वो। क्लियर? द टोटल इनकम फ्रॉम 1 अप्रैल ऑफ दैट एसएससी ईयर अप टू द डेट ऑफ डिसोल्यूशन विल बी चार्जेबल टू टैक्स इन दैट असेसमेंट ईयर इटसेल्फ एट द रेट्स अप्लीकेबल टू दैट असेसमेंट ईयर। तो अगले असेसमेंट ईयर के नहीं रहेंगे उसको, उसी असेसमेंट ईयर के रहेंगे। समझ में आया ना? तो 23-24 के रेट्स रहेंगे उसको, 24-25 के नहीं। आया समझ में? Next is person likely to transfer property to avoid tax. Generally one person is there, that person is likely to transfer the asset with the purpose of what? Avoiding the taxes. Suppose you have 1 crore income. From this 1 crore, you transferring some income to name of your spouse or any other person, because if you have 1 crore income with you, generally surcharge is applicable or not? Means you have to pay some taxes, suppose base, because some students will not have any knowledge about surcharge. So if any person who is already having the tax knowledge, if he show some extra amount of income in income tax law, his tax amount can be high. Already you know that. So by knowing this fact, he decided कि some property or income he will transfer temporarily, and once these tax complications are over, again he will take back. Clear? So with this intention, if any transaction has taken place and any income has been earned, so that income is chargeable in the same year, not in next year. मतलब ये है किसी पर्सन के पास पहले से ही टैक्स का नॉलेज है और उसको मालूम है कि इतना अगर उन्होंने पैसा दिखाएगा तो टैक्स ज़्यादा आ सकता है, तो ये ट्रांसफर्ड व्हाट? इस प्रॉपर्टी ट्रांसफर करे तो उससे जो इनकम आने वाला वो भी कम हो जाएगा ना। उसके पास समझो भाई एक प्रॉपर्टी है। क्लियर? फ्रॉम दिस प्रॉपर्टी कैन गेट सपोज 1 crore rupees, and 1 crore suppose he has to pay 30% tax. So ultimately decided कि if he show 20 lakh 30 lakhs only, tax will be 20% only. So what he will do? He will transfer his property, and once tax complication procedure is completed, he will again take back. तो टेम्पररी ट्रांसफर करता हूँ ना, क्या करता है ये? टेम्पररी ट्रांसफर करता हूँ, या फिर परमानेंट भी ट्रांसफर कर रहा तो टैक्स को अवॉइड करने के इंटेंशन से कर रहा हूँ। किसको इंटेंशन से कर रहा? टैक्स को अवॉइड करने के। क्लियर? तो इट अप्लाइज व्हेन it appears to assessing officer that person is likely to charge, sell, transfer, dispose or otherwise part with any of his assets to avoid what? Taxation. So in that case also it will be taxable in the same year by applying the same assessment year tax rates, not in next year. मतलब इसका ये है कि he is generally he want to reduce the tax liability. क्या कम करना चाह रहा हूँ? और avoiding the taxes. His intention is very clear. He want to reduce taxes or avoiding taxes. Mostly तो ये रहता है, avoiding taxes. So any person who want to avoid the taxation, if that person has transferred the asset and because of transfer of asset tax is avoided. Suppose Mr. X के नाम पे अगर asset है तो taxable हो सकता था ये. तो ये ट्रांसफर दिस एसेट टू मिस्टर वाई. क्या कर दिया उन्होंने? मिस्टर वाई को ट्रांसफर कर दिया. तो एक्स के नाम पर टैक्स किस पे चले जाएगा? वाई पे जा सकता है. बट वाई इज इन स्पेशल कैटेगरी, इसको भी टैक्स नहीं लग रहा है समझिए. तो जब दोनों बच जाते हैं टैक्स में से, एंड दिस पर्सन इंटेंशनली डन दिस, ये पर्सन क्या कर रहा है? इंटेंशनली डन दिस ट्रांजैक्शन. तो दैट इज द रीजन की द ईयर इन विच दिस प्रॉपर्टी ट्रांसफर टेक प्लेस, this entire income will be taxable in that year only. In that year only, not in next year. Because ultimate intention is what? Avoiding taxation. So whenever a person is doing this transaction to avoid a tax, so income is taxable in the same year, not in next year. आया समझ में? ये इनकम फ्रॉम अदर सोर्सेज में समझ में आता है आपको. बॉन्ड वॉशिंग ट्रांजैक्शन में समझाता हूँ मैं आपको. क्या समझाऊंगा आपको? बॉन्ड वॉशिंग ट्रांजैक्शन बोल के आता है. क्या आता है? बॉन्ड वॉशिंग ट्रांजैक्शन. उसमें समझाता हूँ पॉइंट को मैं. क्लियर? तब तक होल्ड करो थोड़ा. नेक्स्ट, डिसकंटिन्यूड बिजनेस. एनी बिजनेस विच इज डिसकंटिन्यूड बिजनेस income is chargeable in that year only, not in next year. Because once business is discontinued, it will not continue in future ना. एक बार बिजनेस डिसकंटिन्यू हो गया तो फ्यूचर में चलेगा क्या? तो अगेन देयर इज नो स्कोप फॉर द टैक्स अथॉरिटीज आल्सो टू आस्क द टैक्सेस फ्रॉम दोज ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. So whenever business is discontinued, the year in which it is discontinued, in that year only assessment will take place, and in that year only tax will be chargeable. Not we have to wait for the next year, because the year in which it is discontinued, in that year only it is better to collect the tax. तो बिजनेस डिसकंटिन्यू हो गया भाई, अब कहाँ पर जाएंगे वो लोग ढूंढने के लिए उसको? अब उन्होंने डिसकंटिन्यू करके विदेश चले गया तो, अगर उन्होंने बिजनेस डिसकंटिन्यू करके विदेश चले गया तो कहाँ ढूंढेंगे उसको? कॉम्प्लिकेशन रहेगा ना. इसलिए व्हेनेवर बिजनेस इज डिसकंटिन्यूड, इट्स इनकम इज टैक्सेबल इन सेम ईयर, नॉट इन नेक्स्ट ईयर. ओके, so these are the areas in which income earned in previous year is chargeable to tax in previous year, not in assessment year. तो कौन कौन से केसेस है वो? नॉन रेसिडेंट शिपिंग कंपनी, इनकम पर्सन ऑफ इनकम लिविंग इंडिया, क्लियर, एंड हिज इंटेंशन नॉट टू कम बैक टू इंडिया, क्लियर. नेक्स्ट, एनी आर्टिफिशियल जुडिकल पर्सन, AOP, BOI formed for particular purpose, clear. Then discontinued business, clear. Then any income of a person whose intention is very clear to avoid the taxes. So these are the areas in which income earned in previous year taxable in previous year, not in assessment year. Understand? आया समझ में? यहाँ तक पूरा? एक सर्कमस्टेंसेस में इनकम जिस ईयर में कमाए उसी ईयर में टैक्स हो जाएगा, नेक्स्ट ईयर में नहीं. नेक्स्ट है असेसी. मीनिंग ऑफ असेसी, डेफिनेशन ऑफ असेसी. जैसे बैंक में आपका अकाउंट है तो क्या बोलते हो उसको? आपको अकाउंट होल्डर या कस्टमर. किसी कंपनी में यू हैव शेयर्स, शेयर होल्डर. सपोज इन वन कंपनी यू हैव डिबेंचर्स, debenture holder. Clear? Understand? Suppose if you have membership of ICI, तो member बोलेंगे आपको. Clear? Similarly, if you have any connectivity with income tax department, तो SSC बोलेंगे. If you have any connectivity with income tax authorities, you will be called as what? SSC. तो आपका अगर इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट से कोई कनेक्शन है, आपका कोई कनेक्टिविटी है, तो आपको किस नाम से वो लोग बोलेंगे? एसएससी. एसएससी का डेफिनेशन इज सेक्शन 2 सबसेक्शन 7 में. किसमें है? सेक्शन 2 सबसेक्शन 7. एसएससी मीन्स ए पर्सन फ्रॉम हुम एनी सम ऑफ मनी is payable under the Income Tax Act. Means any sum of money is payable in the Income Tax Act. Means it can be tax amount, it can be penalty, it can be interest, anything. Any sum of money means नाम कोई भी हो जाओ. But whatever is paying, that is paid to income tax authorities. To whom? Income tax authorities. He can pay tax amount also, he can pay interest also, he can pay penalty also, he can pay TDS also. Whatever he paid or by whatever name he paid, that will be generally referred as what? SSC. पहला सेंटेंस देखिए. SSC means any person by whom any tax or any sum of money is payable under this act. समझ आया ना? Is payable under this act and includes every person in respect of whom any proceedings under this act has been taken for assessment of his income or income of any other person in respect of which SSC is assessable or which he is assessable, to determine the loss sustained by him or by such other person, the amount of refund due to him or such other person. का मतलब यह है कि SSC means a person by whom any tax or any other sum payable under this act, and this also includes every person in respect of whom any proceeding under the income tax has been taken for the purpose of what? Assessment of his income, okay, या फिर loss sustained by him और refund. मतलब SSC एक ऐसा पर्सन है जो इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट को कुछ पैसा देगा, कुछ पैसा पे करेगा या पेबल रहेगा उन्होंने. SSC means a person from whom any sum of money is payable under this act. Payable under this act means he may pay tax amount also, interest also, or penalty also. And apart from that, the term SSC also includes if any assessment is taking place on behalf of his income or on others' behalf also. Like you are running a company. In your company, so many employees are working. You have to deduct, you are paying salary. You have to deduct TDS or not. After deducting TDS only you have to pay salary or not. So it means assessment of other persons is also covered in that. Not only you, assessment of other persons also. ये दूसरों का भी असेसमेंट हो गया है या आपके द्वारा दूसरों का असेसमेंट हो रहा है, तो भी तब आपको क्या मानेंगे वो लोग? एसएससी मानेंगे, क्योंकि आपके कारण तो सैलरी जा रहा ना उसको. And because of your salary income only, TDS is coming into existence. So assessment of his own income or assessment of any other person also. And loss sustained by him or others also. Like already I given the example. If you have lost transaction in share market, ultimately if you file income tax return only, you can get the carry forward. Otherwise you can get carry forward? No. So loss also disclosed to income tax authorities. If you do not disclose the loss, generally you cannot get that benefit of loss in forthcoming years. So loss sustained by you also or relating to other person also, if you are doing the assessment for that, that is also that person is also treated as what? SSC. Or suppose you are applying for refund. You are applying for refund. So any person who is applying for refund, that person is also treated as what? SSC. भाई आप इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल करें और रिफंड के लिए अपील कर रहे हैं आप, मीन्स रिफंड के लिए आप फाइल करें आप, तो आपको क्या मानेंगे वो लोग? एसएससी. फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर ए सैलरीड एम्प्लॉई. आप एक कंपनी में सैलरीड एम्प्लॉई है एंड एवरी मंथ सैलरी इज पेड. and TDS deducted. What deducted? At the time of deducting TDS, generally they have not deducted your deductions under chapter 6A or any other deductions also. Directly on total salary amount they deducted the TDS. But according to deduction, your income will decrease or not? In income tax law also, you have some deductions. If you invest the money, you can get some deductions and you can reduce your tax. Suppose you invested in certain areas. So after deducting those deductions, your tax amount will be less. But here, they deducted TDS at high rate or high amount of TDS they deducted. So how much extra they deducted, you can get back that as refund. वो आप किस में ले सकते हैं वापस? रिफंड में ले सकते हैं. समझ में ये बात? इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल करो, डिडक्शंस बतलाओ, टैक्स टोटल इनकम कम करो, उस पर वापस टैक्स करो, तो टैक्स अमाउंट कम हो जाएगा. जो ऑलरेडी जो पे कर दी वो ज़्यादा रहेगा, तो जो ज़्यादा पे करे उसमें से जो कम आ रहा टैक्स वो माइनस करो. डिफरेंस इज व्हाट? रिफंड. डिफरेंस इज व्हाट? रिफंड. फिर से सुनिए ध्यान से. सपोज अकॉर्डिंग टू योर सैलरी 12 lakh per annum you are earning, and accordingly company deducted the TDS amount they deducted, suppose 1,32,000, 1 year TDS amount. But you have some areas of investments also, like you invested in PPF, you have medical insurance policy also, you have insurance policy also, clear, and you have given some donation also. So you are getting deduction under section 80C, you are getting deduction under section 80D, you also get deduction under section 80G. So suppose 5 lakh rupees deduction you can get. So from 12 lakh rupees, if 5 lakh is deducted, your taxable income how much? 7 lakh. According to 7 lakh, if you calculate the tax liability, suppose it is coming 84,000 only or 82,000 only. So how much TDS deducted? But right now after deducting all this, how much tax amount coming? So how much extra coming? Cancelled or deducted? 50,000 एक्स्ट्रा ले लिया ना, तो 50,000 रुपीज रिफंड आता. फिर आप क्या आएगा? वो रिफंड आएगा. आया समझ में? समझ में आया? फिर से रिपीट करूं? देखिए, जो फर्स्ट टाइम पढ़ रहे थोड़ा दिक्कत हो सकता है, सेकंड वालों को तो समझ में आता है कैसे भी, बिकॉज ऑलरेडी दे हैव द आइडिया ATC क्या है, ATD क्या है. First time learners generally don't have some knowledge na, or some students will have no knowledge of any section also. Means income tax law means whatever you earn directly, tax is not chargeable on that. You have the options also, you can invest your money and you can get some deductions also. You can claim some deductions also. After claiming the deduction, balance amount is taxable. So if you invested in different areas and you are claiming those deduction, so your tax total income amount will decrease, tax amount will also decrease. So when tax is deducted on higher income, but later on you prove कि your income is less, so how much extra tax deducted that you can claim as refund? That you can claim as what? Refund. पहले ज़्यादा अमाउंट काट दिए वो लोग, बाद में आप क्या शो करें कि मेरी इनकम कम है और मेरा टैक्स भी कम है, फिर जो ज़्यादा कट गया वो क्या आएगा? आपको वापस आएगा. वो बोलते हैं रिफंड. क्या बोलेंगे उसको? रिफंड. तो रिफंड जिसको मिलता है उसको भी क्या बोलेंगे? SSC. द पर्सन हु इज क्लेमिंग द रिफंड, दैट पर्सन इज ऑल्सो ट्रीटेड एज व्हाट? SSC. नेक्स्ट, एवरी पर्सन हु इज डीम्ड टू बी SSC अंडर प्रोविजंस ऑफ इनकम टैक्स. समटाइम डायरेक्ट वन पर्सन इज नॉट SSC, वन रिप्रेजेंटेटिव विल बी SSC. One representative will be SSC, like trust. Trust will not have any structure. ट्रस्ट को आंख है, कान है, बोलने के लिए मुंह है, फिर उसका कौन रिप्रेजेंटेटिव रहता? वन पर्टिकुलर रिप्रेजेंटेटिव. ट्रस्टी बोलते हैं उसको. क्या बोलते हैं? ट्रस्टी. क्लियर? तो उन्होंने रिप्रेजेंट करेगा ना. माइनर है, माइनर कर सकता कोई भी काम अच्छे से. तो गार्डियन रिक्वायर्ड और नॉट? तो गार्डियन इज व्हाट? रिप्रेजेंटेटिव. So every person who is deemed to be SSC under provisions of this act means, अगर कोई ट्रस्ट है तो ट्रस्ट में उसका रिप्रेजेंटेटिव कौन रहता है? ट्रस्टी। कौन रहता है? ट्रस्टी। तो ट्रस्टी विल बी ट्रीटेड एज व्हाट? डीम्ड एसेसी। डीम्ड एसेसी। डीम्ड का मतलब है मानना। डीम्ड का मतलब है मानना, अनुकोवडम। तेलुगु में बोलते हैं उसको अनुकोवडम, मानना। मानने का मतलब क्या है ही नहीं बट मान रहे। अभी क्लास में सभी बच्चों को मैं शरीफ मान रहा हूं, बट कितने शरीफ है कितने बदमाश हो तुम्हारे को ही मालूम है। बट मैं सबको क्या मान रहा हूं? शरीफ मान रहा हूं। तो इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट में ऐसा मानता उन्होंने रहता नहीं। एक्चुअल में क्या मानता हूं? एसएससी मानता हूं। क्यों? ट्रस्टी ऑफ ए ट्रस्ट इज नॉट एक्चुअली एसएससी, इज ए रिप्रेजेंटेटिव व्हाट? ट्रस्ट। इज ए रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ व्हाट? ट्रस्ट। बट ट्रस्ट तो आके काम नहीं कर सकता ना इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट में। साइन कर सकता है क्या ट्रस्ट? दैट्स व्हाई वन रिप्रेजेंटेटिव रिक्वायर्ड और नॉट। तो ट्रस्टी इज व्हाट? रिप्रेजेंटेटिव। सिमिलरली गार्डियन, माइनर, minor person can do any transaction, so guardian required or not? So guardian is what? Deemed assessee। मानते उसको, है कुछ भी नहीं उन्होंने बट मानते उसको। क्या मानते? डीम्ड एसेसी। आया समझ में? नेक्स्ट रहता है एसएससी अंडर डिफॉल्ट। एसएससी अंडर डिफॉल्ट। एसएससी अंडर डिफॉल्ट मीन्स टाइम पे आना नहीं, टाइम पे जाना नहीं। सपोज ऑन ड्यू डेट इज नॉट फाइलिंग द इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न, whatever the due dates mentioned in income tax law, according to that he is not complying, he is always delaying. Suppose due date of filing income tax return is there, on that date he is not filing income tax return, okay, so that will be called as what? Assessee under default। भाई कोई भी आदमी जब किसी लॉ के चीज़ों को उल्लंघन कर देगा उसको क्या बोलते हैं? डिफॉल्ट बोलते हैं उसको। तो इनकम टैक्स में जो प्रोविजन है उसका उल्लंघन कर रहा हूँ तो क्या बोलेंगे उसको? डिफॉल्ट। तो एसएससी इन डिफॉल्ट। So every person is deemed to be assessee in default under any provisions of act, that is assessee who has failed to comply with the duties imposed upon by him as per the income tax act। तो इनकम टैक्स एक्ट के हिसाब से जो उसको जिम्मेदारी दी गई उन्होंने उसको बखूबी नहीं निभा रहा है तो क्या बोलेंगे उसको? एसएससी अंडर डिफॉल्ट। जैसे ड्यू डेट पर फाइलिंग करना नहीं करा उन्होंने तो क्या बन जाएंगे उन्होंने? टीडीएस 10% से काटो बोल रहे उसको, टीडीएस ही नहीं काट रहा उन्होंने, डिफॉल्ट। समझ में आया? तो जो चीज लॉ में बोल रहा है उसको फॉलो नहीं कर रहा उन्होंने तो क्या बन जाएगा? एसएससी अंडर डिफॉल्ट। तो दिस इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ एसएससी। तो सेक्शन 2 सबसेक्शन 7 में रहेगा। किस में रहेगा ये? सेक्शन 2 सबसेक्शन 7। So this is your basic terminology regarding income tax law. Ab next class we have to understand the meaning of income, etc., etc. Okay? Income का मतलब क्या है? Capital receipt means what? Revenue receipt means what? What is the difference between receipt and income? All this we are going to discuss in next class. And tax rates also. Income tax subject daily पढ़ना पड़ता है आपको। Income tax subject का मतलब है शुगर की बीमारी। डेली दवा लेना नहीं तो एक्सरसाइज करना, नहीं तो मर जाते फिर आप। नहीं तो पढ़े तो फिर याद नहीं रहता, फिर वो समझ में आता सब्जेक्ट सबको, नो प्रॉब्लम, बट यू कैन नॉट रिटेन दिस सब्जेक्ट। हाँ, एनी डाउट क्वेरी?